Wasn't Joey happy yesterday as the Saints came marching in that third quarter? It was great stuff, a really stoppage-driven victory, but such a combination between the old fella there and Paddy Ryder, but some of the youngsters as well.
Yeah, it was an awesome third quarter, and we showed a graph a few weeks ago how many times this year when the Saints have been behind, which has been in almost a lot of their games, they've been able to not just wrestle momentum, but kick and pile on a number of goals, and they did it in that third quarter with 6 unanswered goals. And we always talking about each club having a point of difference. What is your point of difference? And I think, as we know, this Marshall-Ryder combination is a point of difference for St Kilda compared to a lot of other clubs in the competition. Maybe not Melbourne because they've got Gawn and Jackson, but for most other sides, this is a luxury to have it. And when the game was up for grabs, there's always who's going to take it by the scruff of the neck. You look at the score in this situation. This was when they were 22 points down in the midway through the third. Watch the ruck work, not just of Ryder, but this was Rowan Marshall. So that first hit gets the ball to this situation. They get a stoppage. Marshall again takes it on upon himself. Knew he had the mismatch, knew he had the strength and size to get the first goal. Then they go back to the centre. Very next centre bounce. Look at this ruck work. So this is all Rowan Marshall, not just Paddy Ryder. And what I love about these two, so when Marshall had that stint, then it was Paddy Ryder's turn. And he comes in, and as we know, he can put it on a platter as well in there. So when you think about this Marshall-Ryder combination, they've only played 25 games together. All right, and we've all seen this one. How good's this? That Saints fans will remember something similar. Grev, you'll remember something similar. Paddy Ryder doing it to the Saints fans all those years ago where he flipped it over the back to Robbie Gray to break their hearts in 2017. But Marshall Ryder have played 25 games together. St Kilda 18-7. So that's a 72% win rate when these two are in the same team. It's a point of difference. It's a real threat. We saw it yesterday, and what I loved about it was when the game was up for grabs. It was them two with their ruck work and their ability to go forward to turn the game in St Kilda's favour, and they all fed off it. The mids fed off it, and they got on a roll, and I thought it was awesome.
And you made the point, it's not just that having that second ruckman who's able to be forward and, you know, kick a goal or two and then go into the ruck. It's having both rucks being able to go forward and kick goals as well.
They're an equal threat in both the ruck and what they can do in the forward line.
Yeah. How did they win it in the coach's box in your eyes?
Well, I thought it was fantastic coaching. With the biggest challenge for Geelong, when you play Geelong, is that drop-off defender. It's been Duncan playing the back two-thirds of the ground, or Blitz halves, or Stewart, whoever it is. They mix it up, and it looks different every time you counter-attack. I thought their speed and their ability to remain patient on counter-attack, it took away the turnover game of Geelong. They scored 37 points from turnover. And we know the turnover is more than 60% of your scoring. So let's have a look at what that looks like. And there's some dare in this. So Duncan's holding back. He wants to be that retreating defender, sagging into space. So Gresham here, he doesn't blast the ball. Now, he could get ran down here. It could be a free kick, dropping the ball, and then they get the inside 50. But he takes the extra risk because he doesn't want to give Geelong what they want. Now, I thought that's fantastic bravery for a player first to do that. So as soon as you get to the other side now, you've got them caught short. Yep. It's actually now 5v4 inside your forward 50. And that's a luxury you never get against Geelong. But if you're brave when you're moving the ball up the field, you do. Same sort of thing here. Now, Stewart wants to be looking at the game. He doesn't want to be retreating back. He wants to be there. Okay, so they drew him up the field, and then he got caught in a foot race back to goal. And it's the same discussion. He doesn't want to be responsible for a man. And you can see Billings there is already goal side and gone. Same scenario, 5v4. So King, all he has to do, you don't ask him to contested mark against these guys, just bring it to ground. We'll get to you. And that's why I say speed cures all ills. Same thing again here. Now, Jones, when you're watching this thing, kick it long, drive it in. But if you look behind the ball, the closest 5 players to where that ball's going, it's a long play. That's how they want the game to look. So Jones says, I'm going to take a risk. I may get caught dropping the ball, and good luck to them if they're good enough to stop me. But if they don't, well, we might be able to manufacture something. Max King puts himself absolutely on the line here, and this is why you win games. Special efforts like that. Now, they don't get a goal because Paddy Ryder just clips the goalpost there, but I thought it was absolutely brilliant coaching, and I've never seen Geelong picked apart like that. I haven't seen that for a long time. They get beaten, but they get beaten in different ways.
That's awesome.
They would have... It's great because you would know against Geelong. If you just blast the ball and kick it long out of defence...
And how often do we see it?
And then Stewart picks it off. Yeah. They all pick it off, and then they set up how they want to play on offence. It was great coaching, but then great execution by the players out on the field to not panic, not just go to what they might want to do and kick long and just get territory, but to take the risk, as you said, and find what worked best for the team.
So Stewart ends up with 5 intercepts, Blitz halves 4, and Duncan 2. I mean, their numbers going into the game, you think, oh, that'll be one player, not three.
Hopefully no other team notices. What else did you want to show, Kingy, from that game?
Well, when we talk team first, OK, and this has been a constant discussion with the Saints, we showed Brad Hill a couple of weeks ago running back to block for Max King. Well, it's not just Brad Hill, and I want to show you how early this happens. So the Saints get the ball from a stoppage on the wing, OK, and look at Jones. He's not even worried about where the ball's going. He's charging back to assist Max King in his one-on-one matchup. Look at this. A little block, a little push, a little bump, and then all of a sudden you get a matchup that Max King says, oh, how good's this? So that's team first footy. That's the evolution of the Saints that we haven't spoken about for some time. I think they're at a point now where they're loving, winning's becoming infectious and everyone's getting a little lick of the ice cream, and when you win, no one gets dropped. It's a really happy environment. This is something they can really build upon. But when I see that sort of play, I think it's not. I don't think I've seen Jones do something like that before. He's always done something for reward, but this is the next level of them now.
Yep. He has added to their midfield, and young Winghager, who you showed there, I thought he was terrific too.
I'd love to see him play his full game.
Sub.
Yeah.